Hello everybody, good evening. This is going to be the quick guide on, of course, day of release for RuneSpan for people around level 80. I sat around this afternoon and did some nice little calculations to find the best way to train in the early to mid 80s. I think that these XP rates are going to be pretty standard all throughout the 80s up until the high 80s, where things like deaths or bloods may overtake the current method. But at the moment, it just okay. So I'll explain quickly how I got my XP rates. I'll leave a link to a TXT which has my data, so you can just kind of look at how I did it, because it's slightly hard to explain. Okay, so I sat on a platform and I siphoned and counted the. Okay, you see every time this thing casts across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So wait, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that was 6 siphons for 1 law. So 6 siphons for 53.75 XP is what I calculated at. So you have that, and then I timed the siphons using a BPM counter with clicks, which gave me the amount of time it took to siphon, which is 2 game ticks, or 1.2 seconds, is basically what I got. I got about 50 beats per minute, which equates to 1.2 uh, seconds per siphon. So then I went, and as I counted before, I did that about 280 times, 300 times for each of the ones around me. So I was at laws and deaths when I started, so I did 300 of each of those. Then I went and did 300. Then I did 300. Man, why did I even go here? After that, I did 300 natures and bloods, because they were the bloods are the next one above deaths, and natures and the one below laws. And I was thinking, well, maybe like the bigger XP will, even though it'll be a slower rate, the fact that it's bigger XP will make it better in the long run for your XP. And that wasn't the case. Well, actually, it was the case. Sorry. Blood runes were slightly better than deaths at my level. Even nats were slightly better than deaths. So all these people camping deaths, run away as fast as you can, because it is not good XP. I ended up averaging about, man, I can't even talk right now. I ended up averaging about 3.18 siphons, which I'm calling these siphons, per law. So meaning I waited for 3.18 times 1.2 seconds per siphon. Then you have the amount of XP per law you get. So I have the average amount of time it takes to get a law, the average XP per law. So then I've calculated XP per second, which then can calculate into XP per hour. And the XP per hour I received for laws was about 51k. It was 50.7 KXP an hour, and that's at level 84, 83, 84. So I mean, and it's going to keep getting better as your levels go up. But for instance, laws are 14.9 XP per second, but bloods are 13.14 XP per second. And yet, and also there's a slight error in mine. Oh shit, yellow mage. There's a slight error in mine because death rune, sweet. There's a slight error in mine because I didn't account for the fail ticks, which are the 1s and 2s and 0s that pop up, because that's just that I felt like it was too hard to track that, because it was already hard enough to type out the amount of siphons each time I correctly did it. Just sitting there, 3, 4, 1, 5, 7, 7. Also, something you should note is that the maximum amount of time it can take for you to get or create a rune is 8.4 seconds. I also did, whenever these random events would show up, not random events, whenever the little, man, I cannot think of the name. whenever the chaotic cloud showed up, or a nebula, or a blood pool, or shifter, normal skulls, fleshy growths, bloody skulls, jumpers, all of that. Whenever that showed up, I would also pay attention to the amount of ticks it took to get that and the amount of XP you get for it. And by far, they are all worth doing from what I can tell. Chaotic Cloud, you average around 2 or less siphons per XP drop, and the XP drop's over 100, which makes it way more worth it. Oh my goodness, yes. And the same with now Nebulas. I only got 1 or 2 times, so I wasn't able to get it. But in those 1 or 2 times, also it was about an average of 2, so it is still better than laws. Also, another thing that's hard with a lot of these, the XP isn't constant. See the 64 and 84? It's ticking based on what runes I'm making. I believe you can either make astrals or cosmics. Yeah, astrals or cosmics. So depending on which one you make, you get different XP. And so that's slightly random, so it's hard to judge that usually. But you know, you come out with it in the end. So yeah, if the law hounds are, I don't know, I've only been here when it's been really busy, so I don't know if the spawn rates are going to actually slow up during the night when there are less people here, the worlds get less populated, less populated, etc., etc. So I made a map, personally, I made a map of the entire 3rd floor and marked down all the law spawns. I marked down all the spawns for everything, and some of the level requirements on the bridges, like the level 85 bridges and the level 95 bridges that I cannot do. So yeah, I made mark of all that and just kind of went with it. Obviously, you're not going to get, taking a step back, obviously you're not going to get exactly 51k XP an hour. If you get those random things to pop up, you do have a chance to get over 50k XP an hour. But with the spawn time, thankfully it's very fast, but if it's still, you lose ticks waiting for that thing to spawn. So you lose time, basically. You lose XP. But yeah, let's see. There's a few places, like depending on the spawn rates, as I was saying, overnight, if they slow down, you may want to go to a place that has Bloods and Laws, which you can see on my map. There's one in the northeast corner. There's also one, I really don't see, it's that's an odd combination. There's one, there's one platform with basically all of the high level stuff in one, which is nice. It's on the northwest side. Yeah, once again, link in the description. You'll be able to see it, and I'll also probably put it up on screen at some point here when I'm editing and whatnot. So as you can see, you do this. When you saw the mage show up, the yellow wizards are people that you talk to them, and in the chat box they tell you that they need a specific rune. You use it on them, and you get, I'm gonna call it strange rock experience. You know, that 5k-ish amount that you get from that. So that's nice. If you go and find a blue wizard, which are easier to find, you can ask them, like, where's a yellow wizard? And then it'll put a nice little arrow on your screen, and it'll also put an arrow under your feet, but that usually, on low detail, it sinks into the floor, so you can't really see it. But yeah. So, essentially, in the low to mid 80s, synopsis, in the low to mid 80s, you want to do law hounds, which are found in various locations. If the spawn times are fast, you can go to any one. I hear that the ones, if there's less people, you get more attempts or runes or whatever you want to call it. You can get more out of it if there's less people, because there's less people using up what is in, quote unquote, inside of the hound. But I have no idea. I haven't had the ability to test this or anything like that. If anything, it'll just make it last longer, not get you XP faster, but it will prolong the time that you are able to get XP, which in turn ups your rates per hour, but does not, like, actually make you get, like, more laws per siphon. But yeah, thank you for watching this really quickly. If you have any questions, any comments, be sure to leave them for me. If I messed up on my map, sorry. I did that slightly in a rush, and if you like it and you want me, yeah, just tell me what's up, and I will be doing a guide when I get to 90. I will be recalculating at 87 because I feel like that's a fair amount of levels to look at again. That's kind of a retarded animation. Derp. But yeah, so yeah, as I said, level 87 I'll check my stuff. Level 90 I'll check. I'll check on souls and see how that is for XP. My guess is that souls are just the most AFK XP possible. So if you really aren't going to be paying attention, like this guy right here, and this chick right here, you can just, if you really don't want to pay attention, you can find the highest level thing you can. Just sit there and do it. But yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to check out my my XP calculations and just kind of see how I got that. And if you see any problems in there, please tell me. But I don't think I made any mistakes. I tried to check multiple times just to make sure that I was doing it correctly while I'm here. But yeah, in the meantime, about 3 hours till 85 rune crafting. Granted, this XP isn't faster than Zimmy. Secrets. But it's more AFK if you want to go there, which kind of bothers me, but I will get into that at a later time. Thank you for watching. As I said, any questions, post them in the comments, message me in-game, on YouTube, anything works. Thank you for watching.